It is that time of the year again, folks. That time of the year where Lego sets start to sell out of retail stores, never to be seen again. Because at the end of every year, the end of December, every single calendar year, we see a large wave of Lego sets stopping manufacturing. We call it retirement. And those sets, they disappear from retail stores, and then the aftermarket kicks in where the only way to get them is going to eBay and Amazon and paying inflated prices. As a Lego investor, I like to buy the sets before they retire at discounted prices and then watch the values go up over time. Now, whether you are a Lego collector or investor or you're a builder, you are probably looking at this year's retirement list and wondering which of these sets do you need to load up on now? Which sets do you want to buy before they disappear from the shelves at the end of December? But many of the sets will not even last until the end of December because retailers cannot replenish a lot of these sets in the last couple of months. Manufacturing has already stopped on many of them. And so for that reason, when they sell out of retail stores, a lot of the times they're gone. And we're already seeing that happening right now. And in this video, I'm going to show you 8 different sets while I was browsing Lego.com I noticed had already gone sold out. And maybe you'll be able to find some of them in other retailers, but when they sell out of those retailers, you're not going to find them anymore. And so we're going to look at those sets here. And we're also going to talk about what is happening with some of the aftermarket prices on some of these sets already. We're not even at the retirement date yet, but the fact that they're already selling out of retail stores means that many of these sets already have inflated prices on Amazon. Now, you may be wondering, Shane, just because something is sold out today, it doesn't mean it won't be back in stock next week or in November or December, but Lego.com has this real cool thing that we can look at where essentially when something is out of stock temporarily, they say that it's temporary. But when it's out of stock for good, it actually looks a little bit different. It just says sold out. And so we, as Lego investors, we get to look at Lego.com in those last couple of months of the year and ask which of these sets have gone into sold out status and which of the sets say temporarily out of stock. And although this is not perfect because it's not an official retirement tag, Lego.com are not telling us these sets are gone for good, but we have noticed this over time, over years of doing this, that sold out typically means it doesn't come back in stock. Now, something could change and something could come back in stock, but usually, or more often than not, it means these sets are never coming back to Lego.com and they are gone for good. So with that, let's jump in and start talking about some of these sets that we're seeing. Again, we have 8 different sets here. There's probably a lot more than that, but I just found 8 while I was browsing around the website today, and here they are. So the first one on the list here is Gandalf the Grey and Balrog. This is, of course, the Brickhead's Lord of the Rings set. We have 3 of them retiring this year. 40631, Gandalf and Balrog. My favorite of the 3. I've kind of changed my opinions on what's my favorite of these 3 a couple of times. I am a massive Lord of the Rings nerd, for those who didn't know. They're my favorite movies of all time. I've seen them 100 times. I've recently been going to see them in New York City with an orchestra. Every year they've got another one of the movies playing, and next year they're playing The Return of the King with an orchestra. I recently introduced my wife to the Lord of the Rings. I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. And so I love all of these Brickhead sets. I think they're really, really well designed. Of course, we have tons of collectability between them. And as Lego investors, we love to see collectability because it drives demand. When you have multiple sets that are highly related to each other, then when someone gets Gandalf and Balrog, they're also going to want to go and get Arwen and Aragorn. It's just going to be the way that this works, right? That's what Lego Group aim for when they release multiple sets that have a collection and seem similar to each other. So they drive demand for each other. And I love seeing that as a Lego investor. These sets have tons of collectability. It is set number 40631. This has 348 pieces in it. Balrog is probably my favorite of all the characters. I just love this design of the Balrog. Of course, the scale is not exactly right on the Balrog, but it's fantastic. It's a $20 set. I like the price point. I think it's fair. It's reasonable. I'm glad that it's not $25 because while every other Lego theme is going through all these massive price rises over time, I'm glad that Brickheads has been still affordable. $10 for singles, $20 for doubles. I think that it's just a very accessible price point for these figures and these sets. So Gandalf and Balrog already sold out. Now again, what we're looking for here is this little banner on the page that says sold out. And when you go to another listing that is temporarily out of stock, it will literally say temporarily out of stock, or it will say back ordered. And that essentially means it's not in stock right now, but you can still order it, or you can order it soon. Whenever it says sold out, typically, and again, this is not an official status from Lego, but typically it means we have not seen it come back in stock, with some exceptions, but we have not typically seen this stuff come back in stock. So it's very likely that Gandalf and Balrog will not be coming back in stock. Now, this is an interesting one because just a couple of days ago, this did go to back order, and a lot of people in my community ordered them, but then they got ordered canceled. And so we had tons of people talking about how their orders got cancelled. And I think that was Lego Group realizing we're out of this. This is not coming back in stock. It is not back ordered. This is gone. And then they've changed the status to sold out since then. So Gandalf and Balrog sold out and probably not coming back in stock on Lego.com. Now, the thing about this one is this, of course, is exclusive to Lego.com and Lego stores. So you cannot go find this in Barnes & Noble right now. Some of the sets we're going to talk about today are not exclusive, so you will still be able to go find them in certain places. One of the sets that I'm going to talk about today is already going up in price on Amazon, but you can get it on Walmart right now. So there are some opportunities like that where you can see something has sold out on Lego.com and you can rush out to your local retailer and get a couple. But with Brickheads, we can't really do that. When this is sold out from Lego stores, this is not coming back and you're not going to be able to find this anymore in retail stores at all. So Gandalf and Balrog. Now, here's the thing. What is happening with the price of this set? If we look at the chart on Amazon, we can see right now, Amazon US market, it is selling for $40. It is selling for double the MSRP before retirement. We are still 2 months out from retirement on this set, but because it has already started to sell out and already started to become scarce, this set is selling for double the MSRP already. Now, if you wanted a clue as to whether something is going to be a good investment or not, when you see it selling at such inflated prices before it's even retired, that's a pretty good sign. And this set is certainly going to be a phenomenal investment for anyone who picked it up. There's just no doubt about it because it's already a good investment. Even after fees right now, you're already making a 50% return on investment on this if you paid full MSRP, which most of us like to not pay full MSRP. We prefer to get gifts with purchases and double VIP points and all of that stuff to try and reduce our costs. And if you were able to do that, then you're doing really well already on Gandalf and Balrog before it's even retired. So interesting price point on this already on Amazon. Now, we do note that because this was exclusive to Lego.com, it wasn't always in stock on Amazon. So you can see the price was pretty much always inflated. If we zoom in here, we can actually see that it was selling for $30 throughout the summer here. And then it did start to bounce up in August up to $37. And recently we have seen it stuck at those higher numbers of $40. The green line here shows us there is sales activity happening. So for anyone who wonders, and I always get these comments on my videos, like the listed prices doesn't matter, it's not really selling for that price. I don't talk about a price unless it's really selling for that price, right? That's beginner stuff with Lego investing. We don't look at prices that are listed. We look at selling prices to tell us the value of something. And this is actually selling at these prices. We can see it with the green line here, the sales activity and the market price of $40. So it is selling at $40 before it even retires. This is going to go higher. So it's interesting to watch what's going to happen with this one, Gandalf and Balrog. Now, next up, we have another Lord of the Rings Brickheads, of course. Aragorn and Arwen has also gone into sold out status on Lego.com. Likely not going to come back in stock at all. And this will be the end that we're going to see for this set. Set number 40632, 261 pieces. Again, another one that I love because Aragorn, of course, any Lord of the Rings fan is a massive Aragorn fan. And I love the design I love the way they've done Aragorn here. I think it's phenomenal, even with the crown and everything that they've managed to put into this build. Fantastic. So what's going on with this set on Amazon.com right now, because it has gone into sold out status on Lego.com. We see right now on Amazon, this one is selling for $37. So just a little bit lower than Gandalf and Balrog, but still almost double the MSRP. $20 MSRP, almost selling for $37.50 here on Amazon recently. We can see the price has risen throughout September and October as the supply has started to dwindle on Lego.com. That's exactly what we expect to see, right? Because people can't find it anymore on Lego.com, so they go to Amazon, the resellers start to sell out, and the price starts to rise. And so we're going to see this go higher and higher now, because this set is going to have a Q4, like a November and December, of low supply. And so we're going to have high demand, low supply before the set even retires. All of the lowball sellers are going to sell out and the price is going to fly on this set and the previous one that we just looked at. So Aragorn and Arwen 40632 and the Balrog and Gandalf set, both Lord of the Rings Brickhead sets, already doing really well as investments and just going to go higher in my opinion. All right, next up we can move themes and we're going to talk about Harry Potter real quick. So we have a Hogwarts Express Collector's Edition. This is the $500 Hogwarts Express, the most expensive Hogwarts Express ever released, the most detailed version of it with 5,129 pieces, 20 minifigures. We've got a lot going on inside of the box here with this one, and it has recently gone into sold out status on Lego.com. We can see that this is possibly not coming back in stock ever again on Lego.com. So does this mean it's going to be one that we should rush out and try to find in other retailers right now? Is it going to be a phenomenal investment, or is it already a phenomenal investment just like the two we just looked at? What is happening with this one on Amazon.com if we look at the price? Here's the interesting thing. It's cheaper than MSRP right now on Amazon in the US. It is $465 on Amazon in the US because it is still in stock. This is not an exclusive to Lego set. This is a set that other retailers also carry, and Amazon are still in stock on this set even though Lego.com have fully sold out of it. Now, this could mean that Amazon's stock won't last because now more supply, or more demand I should say, moves to Amazon to try and buy this because the people who were looking for it on Lego.com can't find it there, so more people will shift to the retailers that do still have it in stock. So this could cause Amazon to sell out faster. We might see this is actually short-lived that they still have stock of this, because recently when you zoom in here, this little white period here on the chart is actually a time when Amazon did not have it in stock. So you can actually see in early October, Amazon were out of stock on this set. They came back in stock in mid-October, and so it's possible that they sell out again reasonably soon, and then we have a case where this will really start to dry up. We won't have supply of it out there anymore. Now, what I would have liked to see as an investment would be when Amazon went out of stock right here, I would like to see the price jumping a little bit higher. It's one of the big signals that I like to look for when I'm picking investment. I like to see what happened when Amazon went out of stock. Did the price jump? Because during those little times when Amazon is out of stock, if the price goes up by 50%, it tells me a lot about the demand and the supply for the set. It tells me that there's not many lowball sellers on it, holding the price down and anchoring that price. It tells me that the demand is still there, even at inflated 50% up prices. It tells me a lot. And so when I look at this one and I see that the price actually just jumped to the MSRP during this period when Amazon were out of stock, that doesn't get me excited about this as an investment. Now, of course, this set could be a phenomenal investment. There's many different things we should think about when we're picking our investments. But this one little signal of what I call price well out of stock, which is basically what did the price do when there was no retailer supply. I don't like the fact that it didn't jump, and I also don't like the fact that we've got a lot of substitutes for Hogwarts Express. There's other Hogwarts Expresses out there that people could go for. This, of course, still has its audience. This still has the Harry Potter collectors who really want the best and the biggest and, you know, the kind of the most advanced version of the Hogwarts Express possible. But for me, I don't like the price point. I don't like the fact that there's substitutes out there, and I'm probably not going to be trying to get this even at this little discounted price and even when it is out of stock on Lego.com. That's just my opinion, of course, and I could be proved wrong. This could be $1,000 6 months from now, and I'll be wondering why I didn't load up on it. But for now, that is still in stock on on Amazon, but out of stock on Lego.com, and possibly not coming back in stock on Lego.com either. What else do we see has already gone into out of stock status? We have the Batcave. So this is the Batcave Shadow Box. This is a really interesting set because many Lego investors were snoozing on this. Many Lego investors did not invest in this set and did not even really look at this set in great detail. Inside of my coaching program, Altitude, we had a discussion about this set. We went real deep on some of the benefits of this as an investment, and my group were talking about how good of an investment this would be. Some people really loaded up on it. Very proud of you if that was you for doing that, because it's turning into an already incredible investment. This set is already skyrocketing in price. Let's have a quick look at that. It was a $400 MSRP and now has gone into sold out status, so it's likely not coming back on Lego.com. It's probably gone for good. We see 3,981 pieces. 7 minifigures inside of the box here, which you can see pictured in this one. Set number 76252. Now, what is happening with the price on Amazon right now? If we jump over to the Amazon listing, we can see $750. So right now, 2 months before retirement, we are already seeing the set at $750. Again, this is a $300 or a $400 MSRP. So now it's $750. It's almost double the MSRP before the retirement. Now, I do need to call out that the demand on this on the Amazon listing, this is a secondary Amazon listing. There was no primary listing because Amazon never stocked this or never sold this. So a third-party seller created this listing on Amazon. And the demand on this listing, it's not got a ton of sales velocity. So the green lines you can see are kind of sporadic. They don't happen, every single day. So this set is kind of selling a little bit slower than many other Lego listings that we can look at on Amazon, but it is still selling. The interesting thing is it did sell at these higher prices. We can see right here. And the supply, when you look at the bottom chart here, this is the number of sellers on the listing, is almost zero. We can see it went to 1 at this point. It literally went to one seller on this listing. Now we're at 2. And so you have a listing here that does not have much supply. You have a set that doesn't have much Lego investor supply in the aftermarket and is not really going to increase a whole lot because many people just snoozed on this and didn't buy it. And therefore, even if the demand is a little bit slower on this set compared to some other Batman sets and other sets in general in the same price point, it will still be selling for extremely high prices because of the supply being almost non-existent on the set. And so this is a really interesting one. Such low supply is going to lead to the price being incredibly inflated on the Batcave shadow box set. So I'm interested to watch what's going to happen with this. And again, I'm proud of any of you out there who invested in this one because there were a lot of signs on this, but many people snoozed on it. So well done if you invested in it. That is Batcave shadow box, $750 right now on Amazon. Next up, we have, of course, Mos Eisley Cantina, the Star Wars set, one of the biggest sets of the year when it comes to just airtime with Lego investors. Everybody is talking about this set. Everybody's looking at this set. And yes, it has gone into sold out status on Lego.com. That means it is unlikely to come back in stock. It is possible that it comes back in stock, but it is unlikely. So 3,187 pieces, 21 minifigures. And does this set need an introduction? Probably not, because you've seen it, you've talked about it, you've looked at it. It's a $400 set, of course, and many are wondering, will this be like the Death Stars? Will this be like the Cloud Cities? Will this be like the Ewok Village set? Interesting to see what's going to happen with this, but already we see value starting to rise on Mos Eisley Cantina. $400 MSRP. Gone into sold out status on Amazon right now. We see that the price recently from mid-October has started to really rise here, and already right now it is at $600 on Amazon in the US. That is a 50% rise above the MSRP for Mos Eisley Cantina. Such early days before the retirement even happens. We still have a lot of demand. We can see that the green line is going crazy here. We have a lot of demand. We can see in this middle chart that we have 400 monthly sales on this set at least on the Amazon listing. And the supply is low on this because it is a $400 set. Many Lego investors just don't want to invest in $400 sets. And so this is going to have incredible demand over time because of the kind of set that it is, because of Star Wars fans being okay with spending higher prices on stuff that they collect. They are a fan base that loves to collect and is okay with spending a little bit. And here we've got a set that just perfectly meets the criteria for a great investment. So Mos Eisley Cantina already at $600. Where is this going to go? It's going to go a lot higher. There is just simply no doubt about that. This is going to go a lot higher because supply is not going to meet the demand on this set. It's going to keep growing. And especially since now that we see that it's getting scarce before the retirement date even happens, again, that means it's going to have an extra Q4. An extra holiday season. We've got November and December of high demand, and the supply, the low price supply on this is just going to sell out like crazy. This is going to be a phenomenal investment. I have no doubt about that. Next up, we have The Office. So this is Lego Ideas The Office, $120, of course, based on the US Office TV show. $120 MSRP. recently gone into the sold out status on lego.com. We see that this set has 1,164 pieces, and it is set number 21336. This is one that I had a very strong feeling about as a Lego investment for this year. It wasn't supposed to retire this year, but it was brought forward into this year throughout the summer. So they brought the retirement forward, and that meant essentially that Lego investors weren't really ready with this. They didn't have much supply of this, and I felt like that was going to help the aftermarket price of this set. Now, the fact that we're already seeing it selling out on lego.com gives me even more confidence in this as an investment. It makes me feel like this is going to be a phenomenal investment. So if you got this at any discounted price, well done. I think that's going to be a great investment for you. Now, if we look at the price on Amazon, we can see it is selling right now at $185. Again, it's a $120 MSRP on Amazon, selling for $185. Now, this is a more kind of a recent listing. We can see this listing was created throughout the summer. But it is very active. We can see in the last, when we zoom in October, we have a lot of sales activity on this set, or on this listing. So this is the listing that I would be selling this set on. If I had it as an investment, I would be listing it on this listing and selling it right here to all of these people that are loading up on it, because it is selling like crazy. Even at this price, the $185 price, you can see that it's been at that price all throughout October, and it has been selling like crazy at that price. So it's only going to go up from here. The supply on this is going to dwindle. Again, similar things going for it than some of the other sets we looked at. Supply is going to be a problem, and the demand is going to be there. And this set is going to be a great investment. I can see it going much higher than 185. So again, if you bought this, well done. Now, earlier I mentioned there is a set that's still available in Walmart that is already inflated on Amazon. This is the set. This is available on Walmart. In stores, I could see it briefly available to get shipped, but it is starting to dwindle on Walmart as well. You can see that sometimes it's in stock, sometimes it's out of stock. So you might want to go and buy a couple of these if you want it as an investment. However, again, we like to pay under MSRP. You might not be able to get it under MSRP, so then you have to make your own decisions on whether it's a good investment at MSRP. It is already selling for $185, so it's already in the green, even after Amazon fees, even at full MSRP. So it's an interesting one. If you got it at a discount, it's already a great investment, so well done. Lego The Office 21336. Next up, the second last set on this list here is Sanctum Sanctorum. This is the Marvel modular building based, of course, on Doctor Strange. We have set number 76218 here. $250 MSRP, 2,708 pieces, and has recently gone into the sold out status on lego.com, possibly never coming back again. So this is another one that I've seen in the communities people get excited about. It is modular, so you can buy it if you're a Lego city builder because it just slots in real nicely with your Lego city. But of course, if you're a Marvel fan, you're going to want this as well because it's just an amazing version or depiction of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Even though we've had past versions of this set, I actually did really well with one of these Sanctum Sanctorums a couple of years ago as an investment. This is certainly the best version that we've ever seen of the Sanctum Sanctorum. The minifigs are great. The playability and displayability are great. It's not often that we get a set that looks great on a shelf, but also has a lot of fun and interactivity. Typically, or a lot of the times, it's one or the other. They kind of go big on the shelf with architecture or with creator vehicles and all these kind of different lines that they're doing to try and have like a set that looks amazing. But then other sets you would have a lot of playability and interactivity. This set has both, so it's phenomenal in that way. Very, very well beloved, of course, has been selling great, and now is out of stock on lego.com. So what's happening with the price on Amazon on this one? We can see already at $340. Again, this is a $250 MSRP, so it's inflated a little bit. It hasn't gone crazy like some of the others we've looked at, but it's inflated a little bit. Now, this particular listing on Amazon is a little wonky. It's a newer kind of listing, and it looks like there's no Keep It sales tracking on it. That does not mean that it's not selling, because often we can actually just have Keepa have a tracking problem where they don't show that green line. It doesn't show us the sales velocity, but it doesn't mean that there's no sales happening. Whenever we don't see the Keepa chart, we can look at the listing itself and see the sales rank. We can use kind of other tools, but here we don't see that. It does not mean it's not selling for this $440. You could also go and check on eBay, check the recent sales prices, but this listing is at $440 right now. And the number of sellers on it has come down recently, so that actually could show us that this actually is selling. There's just no keep a sales rank on it. But we see the offer count in the bottom chart here go from 8 down to 2 right there. So it's possible that those started to sell out. And so we can see the price start to go up. So interesting to watch what's going to happen with Sanctum Sanctorum 76218. And number 8 on this list of recently sold out sets on Lego.com is going to be the mini Disney Haunted Mansion. Another interesting one because some people are really bullish about these mini sets as investments. This is set number 40521, 680 pieces. And this is kind of a mini collection that Disney are doing based on some of the theme park attractions. $24 at the discounted price here because it went 40% off, but $40 MSRP, of course. Now, this has gone into sold out status. What is happening with the Amazon price on this one? We see a lot of sales activity on this listing. If we zoom in recently, we can see the set right now is selling for $45, but it has come down recently. It was in September selling for $52, almost $53. So it has come down a little bit recently as supply has gone up, but very likely that will go back up again. So again, this is a $40 set, and right now is selling for $45, so it's slightly inflated above the MSRP, but nothing crazy right now. But when a lot of these lowball sellers sell out, then it could go back up pretty quickly throughout Q4 because it is going to start to dwindle in supply since Lego.com no longer has it in stock. So interesting to watch what's going to happen with the mini enchanted or haunted mansion as well. 8 different sets here, and of course there are more. You can go and browse Lego.com. You will find more sets that are now in sold out status, and you can use that as an opportunity. You could go try to find them on other retail sites, or you could just get excited about watching that price start to go up, because if you've already invested in some of these sets, you might already be feeling pretty good about your picks. Now, what should we be doing as Lego investors? We should be going out and buying other sets before this happens, because there's a lot more sets out there that are still available today in October that will not be available a month from now in November, and will certainly not be available 2 months from now in December. A lot more sets are going to start to sell out. We've seen just a few so far in October, but it's going to happen with a lot more sets that are retiring this year. So if you want to invest in these sets before values start to rise, this is your season. October, November, December is your season to make sure that you're buying all of those great sets, adding them into your inventory before those values start to rise. So we should use this as a little nudge to start taking action on your hit list and getting those sets into your possession. Now, if you want to learn more about Lego investing, I have a free guide that you can download. It's got 5 steps in there as to how I built and scaled my Lego investing business. And so in the description down below, I'll leave a link. You can grab that. It's completely for free. And you can learn of some of those major steps that I took to build my business. And with that, thank you so much for being here. I'm Shane from BrickBox.net, and make this your year to lift off and be free.